What's up, everybody? This is Alex Worldwide Keller, and you're listening to The Card is Going to Change. And let me tell you about one of our beautiful, amazing, gracious, and awesome sponsors. That's right, it's Pollyanna DIY at Pollyanna DIY on Twitter, on Instagram. Go to PollyannaDIY.com, and you can get all sorts of amazing buttons, shirts, pins, the whole kit and caboodle. That's right, PollyannaDIY.com. But now, let's take it to the reason that you hit download, the reason that you are streaming. That's right, the card is going to change.
Hello once again, everybody. Thanks for listening to AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get into this week's episode, as always, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors that help us bring the show to you for free each and every week. Firstly, thanks to Angelo's Pizza. They're feeding us here as they always do while we record, and they, of course, bring pizza to you at our live events at Mount Carmel. If you want to try more of their pizza or anything else on their menu, it's all delicious. Head to Angelo's on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. And thanks to Smart Mark Video, they record all of our live events. And if you want to relive any of those or watch them for the first time, you can purchase that on DVD or digital download from smartmarkvideo.com. And additionally, head to powerbomb.tv, sign up using the code ABSOLUTE, and you will get a 20-day trial for free. And then stick around and just keep watching the shows that we put out there from the AIW archives. And as always, thanks to Jack Prince, who helps take care of all of our printing and graphic design needs. They can do all of that and more for you, whether it be banners, t-shirts, business cards, flyers, everything and anything. For all that they have to offer, head to jackprince.com.
akprince.com.
You always got to make it sound
It's got to be unique, man.
different every time, as if they're not going to know that it's you already.
Well, I'm not doing voices, Steve Guy. I'm not Mel Blanc.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's great reference.
Thank you.
Love it. Looney Tunes. That is the Duke right there, everybody. He joins us again here on this episode of The Card is Going to Change, along with the Bone Collector Dominic Guarini and AIW owner John Thorne, as always. And I am your moderator of sorts, Steve Guy. In this episode, we are talking about, our next foray into Akron, as we travel your neck of the woods there, Dom.
That is correct. Born and raised Canton, but Akron's close enough.
Yeah.
Making our return after March of this year, making a very successful Akron debut.
All these Akroners, to Clevelanders, it's Akron Canton is the same thing, but
Yeah. I mean, I knew he was Canton, but I mean, we're going closer to him as opposed to up here.
Goodyear, Canton's Pro Football Hall of Fame, and we got.
Do they ever call it like Minneapolis, St. Paul's, the Twin Cities? They ever call Akron, Canton like sister cities or the Twin Cities? Or
Now,
you guys do you have a Hatfield and McCoy type thing going on down there?
Not that I know
At
of.
one point, the minor league baseball team was the Canton Akron Indians.
That is correct.
Okay.
It was named that.
That's
And then
true.
it's split off to, of course.
And they put Canton first, which is odd.
Yeah.
And then it split off, of course, into the Akron Arrows, and then there was, I think, some other random minor league team called the Canton Crocodiles. But that's baseball, and we're not really here to talk about baseball. We're here to talk
No, they're
about
the
some
Rubber
pro
Ducks.
wrestling.
Keeping us on topic there. Tight. You got the headset on. It's tight.
Look at this guy. Yeah,
I got my socks up high still, dude.
All right.
He's in the earpiece there. Do you want me to DQ anybody?
No, I'm not Jay Clemens,
so-
Akron native.
We're going back to Akron, and this time we're doing it even bigger. Doing a whole a convention.
this is
Not a con as in a con game or
Right,
anything
convention.
like that. Yes,
That's why I wanted to make sure I
convention.
said convention.
Yes.
yes, this is this is new territory for us for sure.
Where did this idea come from?
This is Swoggle's idea because he does something similar once a year for his promotion.
Mm-hmm.
He runs in an arena,
Yeah.
there's not like just spare arenas laying around in the Cleveland or Akron area.
The closest you get would be like the Civic Center, but there's some logistical nightmares with that.
So I don't know. It's been this idea that has just taken different forms. He'd been pitching it for months, and finally he pitched it to Pedro, and Pedro was like all in on it to do it in Akron.
He went after the right guy.
He did,
Pedro,
yeah.
because Pedro is a well-known memorabilia collector.
Ooh, wait, I've seen that room. Jealous.
But so this is Swoggle's idea, and basically it's instead of how we normally do it with one big signing an hour before the show, it would be multiple people, and it would be a few hours before the show, and this way it gives the fan base more opportunity to meet different stars that normally we wouldn't bring in just for just like a Mount Carmel or even an Akron show. So we just started, ideas started flowing, and we set a date at, we decided to do it at the Tadmore Shrine would probably be the best place to do it since it's centralized. Cleveland people can come, Akron people can come, from various different, drivable locations. It was
Right.
a good location to try it at. And, that's kind of how the idea was formed from there. And maybe the building's going to end up being too small. I don't know. I think we get in a little over our
Bold
head.
statement.
I think we got in a little over our head this time, but
It's fun. This is basically Pedro's version of your funhouse, like how he says, John, here is your envelope for spending and budget at the funhouse, because he's worried that's where you're going to go crazy. But memorabilia is his after party, I guess.
no, I mean, it's not even that. It's just, it's, I know Duke hates when we talk about the numbers and the budgets, but, this is by far the most expensive thing that we have ever attempted. And it's, it's going to be one of those things where it's like a make or break situation.
And then it got even more expensive than what it was originally going to be.
This has been a nightmare so far.
Well, it's gone up, and you know what I mean. It's taken different forms. You know what I mean. Like
Sure.
the idea started off with it was going to be Hall and Nash and a few other guys, and then Hall couldn't do it, and then Nash could do it, and then Nash bailed, and then I started trying to just think of like different types of people to use to make it unique, because when Swoggle does it, it's like big heavy hitter guys.
Yeah.
And, that there's no really in between. I wanted to find some of those in between obscure, talents too, that aren't also going to be that gigantic price tag.
Right.
So I guess before we even jump into that, like some people are confused as to what it is we're doing. It is going to be a convention, like not like your traditional convention that you go to and it's just a convention. This is going to be for about 3 hours before an actual AIW event. So it's going to be like a much longer extended signing period. It's one ticket, and then, once the signing is over, we're just going to, roll everybody right into a live AIW show.
Now, this is going to be, realistically, this would be a long day for someone attending. Now, are you going to be taking tickets as they come into the convention just for their logistic questions, I'm sure? Or, people come in for the convention, then we're going to clear out, and then you come back in.
I think it's going to be too hard to clear. I think it's going to be too hard to clear people out. Mm-hmm. I think it's once you're in and you've been wristbanded and all that. You know what I mean?
Because you probably will have to move people out just to get the tables broken down.
Yeah, like we're
Get the more chairs set up and stuff like that.
It's going to be, logistically, it's going to be a lot for us to coordinate. But obviously, we're going to try to make it as be as accommodating as possible, because we've never done this before. But I think the thought process is, once somebody enters the building, they've entered the event. They can go to their car and take things, memorabilia that they buy and things like that. And around 7:00, we're gonna start getting things ready for the show.
So if somebody gets there, if they're like first one in the door, they hit everybody maybe within an hour, and now they've got time to kill. Welcome to leave and come back.
Yeah,
obviously.
as long as they keep that that wristband on.
Not putting them on lockdown.
No. I mean, it's gonna be a long day for some people, but we're gonna try to add some additional special events. Once we kind of get a feel of the different rooms that are available, because there are other rooms that are available that we did not use.
Yeah, I believe the bar would be one that we did not use. So I'm gonna probably talk to the Tadmore and see if they'd be willing to staff that and open that up for us this time.
Yeah, so there'd be a full bar available, and different. We're gonna try to set up maybe some panels and things like that. Some talents are gonna be strictly signing during that time period because
sure.
Like a Booker T, you know what I mean? He's probably going to have a pretty consistent line. But, we'll see. It's really going to be kind of a loose schedule. We're going to try to set things up utilizing a lot of, the actual AIW wrestlers and in additional capacities. And, we haven't set the full-on locked-in itinerary as of right now. But it is going to be, a day of signing. There's going to be vendors there with memorabilia and obviously AIW merch, and all the wrestlers are going to have individual merch, and they'll be posing for photo ops, signing autographs, things like that.
You want to get into then who is going to, I mean, I know it's all out there, but talk a little bit about the individuals that are going to be signing. Booker T, obviously, you mentioned.
I will be there.
The Duke will be signing.
Well, let's not gloss over that.
So Booker T, thankfully, I talked about that a couple weeks ago with the podcast I did with Swoggle, but Kevin Nash had been locked in for a while since the inception of this idea.
Yeah, kind of centered around him.
This was the piece that was okay. We got our marquee guy. Now let's build around it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to try to different eras and different just different types of people. You know what I mean? Once you get that big marquee person. And then, obviously, I don't know if he double booked himself or, he books stuff himself. He has agents that book things. I don't know. And I didn't really follow up with him beyond his cancellation. Obviously, he got a much larger offer, and
yeah.
It's unfortunate for me, but
right. I mean, at that point, it just becomes okay. Well, I got to go book somebody.
And I was trying. I tried some other people, and a lot of people were not available on this date because I had been trying to book, marquee talents for months at this point, and I knew a lot of people were not available for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. It turns out that they're all on the same thing that Kevin Nash is on.
Well, there you go.
But I had Booker T's phone number, and I thought, we had used them before in Cleveland, but we're coming up on 2 years of that.
Yeah.
From that, and he's never been in the Akron area, and this is Booker T is a marquee guy any day of the week. So luckily I was able to lock him down, and some of the other pieces were obviously built in already at that point.
So I guess do you want to go down the list of who's going to be there, or?
Yeah, I mean.
So we got Cowboy Bob Orton. Let's start there.
Yeah, so he was a guy that I was trying to think of just unique guys from different eras, and the original plan with Cowboy Bob Orton was I wanted to do Cowboy Bob Orton and Paul Orndorff and kind of do like a WrestleMania 1 photo op, and I had calling Paul Orndorff, texting Paul Orndorff, leaving voicemails, and I got nothing. And then, now in the last month or two, we see, he's having financial issues, and I think they said CTE issues, and all this stuff has come out. So
yeah,
that's probably why Mr. Orndorff did not, call me back, because I think it said he can't travel to bookings and something that I read. But anyway, Cowboy Bob Orton is fucking awesome alone. Right. I was just trying to do once I couldn't get the Outsiders together, and I just had Nash, I wanted to have like a big dual photo op like that. And obviously it just did not turn out that way, but Cowboy Bob Orton, I think, is a pretty good scoop for this. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to.
Is his arm still broken?
I don't know. Are you going to break it?
If I have to.
This guy.
I mean, if it's broken already, then no. I'm not a.
Why would you have to?
I'm not. Well, I don't know. He might
What
get out of
scenario
line.
would you have to?
He might get out of line. I don't like people to get out of line, Steve.
Oh,
Guy.
man.
But Cowboy Bob Orton is just like, I mean, this dude has done everything. So I think that, a guy like him appeals to different eras of, generations of wrestling fans. So, hopefully people want to come meet Bob Orton on November 3rd. That's my, that's my hope.
Yeah. So the next guest, then, let's talk about Lanny Poffo, a.k.a. The Genius.
I mean, I was always a big fan of The Genius.
Oh, same here.
This one of all the names that we haven't covered them all yet. This was the one when I found out I was probably got me to pop the best.
Yeah?
Was Lanny Poffo. Yeah, I always liked Lanny Poffo when I was younger. I thought he was great. I thought he was great with Mr. Perfect. I thought he was good babyface. I loved Lanny Poffo.
What about him and Hogan?
That was great. Was that a Saturday Night's Main Event? Yeah, that was awesome. I couldn't believe they gave him the match number 1, and then he held his own. It was all right.
But like I said, I was just trying to think of just different, unique types of names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I did the amount of research I did of just trying to set this lineup was quite a bit. And this has been in the works since, like I said, around J-Lit, officially probably around Absolution. Lanny Poffo was just one of those guys that I just kept coming back to and going, I bet you this guy is really interesting to talk to. It's the Macho Man's brother.
Right.
Again, you have Cowboy Bob, who's kind of in that early 80s era for the most part.
Yeah.
And then you have Lanny Poffo, who's in that late 80s,
early 90s.
Early 90s. So it just went back to just trying to find that, someone from that different era. And plus, he's gonna come with the Macho Man's Hall of Fame ring, and he's gonna do photo ops with that.
Wow.
I believe you can wear the Macho Man's Hall of Fame ring. So that's like a once in a lifetime sort of experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's that guy when, like, our generation, when we're growing up and we're watching.
Yeah, that's why
WWF. You look at the cast of characters and they were just so over the top, and this is one that has just always stuck out because he did such an amazing job.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for this one. 1,000%. He's like the Duke. He's probably one that I'm looking forward to the most.
How about Joel Gertner?
I mean,
well.
it's just it's another just weird, kind of out there, off the wall name that you're not going to see all the time, especially in this area. A guy that's probably not going to headline a Mount Carmel meet and greet,
right?
It's just I kept coming back to I just kept coming back to Joel Gertner too when I was thinking, like, who could I get from ECW that is alive?
Yeah.
It's a big qualifier now.
Is competent, things like that, and just someone who is just everybody remembers from ECW, but like is not like your regular ECW talent. And strangely enough, when I was doing my research, I found out that Joel Gertner followed me on Twitter, so it was easy.
Oh, there you go. Nice and smooth.
Yeah, that's. Oh,
go ahead.
And that's the thing that is cool about what he's trying to do is that he's getting different people from different eras and from different promotions and putting them all together under one roof, which is cool. And it's also people that outside of Booker T you haven't seen in the area in years.
Yeah,
you know. So
absolutely.
if you've ever if you watch the network and you watch Cowboy Bob Orton, or you watch The Genius, or you watch Gertner, or whatever, you've maybe never had a chance to see them because they've never come in here before, or you were too young, you know, to go see them. So it's just the diversity of different feds and different talent and different time periods is really cool.
As I look at the pictures here, and I think about convention people, what's your over/under on wrestling cosplayers just showing up dressed as the Genius, or all in their bow ties?
Well, you said over under.
It's a neck brace. It's a neck brace, but
You said over under, so I'm going to perk up because
call.
we're talking about gambling now. So now we're in my
I'm gonna
wheelhouse.
take the neck braces myself.
I'm going graduation grounds.
You don't think anybody's gonna wear the bow tie over the neck brace?
Oh, I mean,
I know one guy who would, but he might not show.
Okay. How would you say, John? How many?
I'm going with more Genius cosplayers than anything.
Yeah. It's an easy
There
one. You got
probably
your
will
graduation
be-
gown.
I would say there'll be more just in general.
Just people dressed up as whatever.
Yeah, like some are committed to doing like the Genius or doing Gertner or, you know, Cowboy Bob maybe with the cast on and the cowboy hat and the vest
Yeah.
or whatever. But there's probably a larger number that just like dressing up as a particular wrestler.
It's not something that we've really ever had.
No, but it's something that I've seen, you know, at Comic-Con.
Right.
There was a few years ago, there was a great Randy Savage costume, and I was upset that I didn't bring my Hogan stuff to go as Hogan and get like a Mega Powers handshake with the guy because he was perfect. And then at the other convention that I go to, there is usually groups of people that are dressed as current talent or whatever else, but
Right.
they usually travel in packs,
I'm going to say this. I'm going to encourage the cosplaying for
There
this.
you
go.
which is not something I would expect you to say.
No, I mean it's going to be a day of things, you know.
It's gonna be a fun.
It's a day
whole
of
fun
things.
day.
That's our slogan for this con. A day of things.
Coming to the Rubber City Con, a day of things.
But yeah, so you know, maybe I'll just whoever's got the best cosplay on, maybe I'll give them a prize of some
Who
sort.
are you going as?
I'm going as the boss, your boss.
You're not my boss.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
might as well get that.
You're gonna get that duster
Yeah,
then?
so we'll get the duster.
Yeah, I need the duster.
Brother.
I need a duster to go with my headset.
How about this next guy? Interested to see if anybody comes cosplaying as one Dwayne Gill, aka Gilbert.
Again, back to that other era. We needed
He's
the
essentially a cosplay in itself.
I would come as Dwayne Gill.
Yeah.
With a bad blonde hair and the goatee
Yeah.
and then the
Bad boy
terrible
Barry
singlet.
there was a point where I almost booked Bad Boy Barry Hardy for this as well, but I just settled on Gilbert because I think he is a guy. If you watched wrestling in the Attitude Era, you know who Gilbert is.
Right.
You might not be like I don't think Gilbert has a fandom like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, but everybody knows who Gilbert is, and I think people are gonna want to take a photo with Gilbert.
You think the Tadmore Shrine will allow sparklers in the building so that people can take photos?
Check the fire code.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to find
As
out.
long as the national anthem is played beforehand, I'm sure.
I think we can do whatever we want, yeah.
Well, we'd have to make some decisions there on that. Of course, Hornswoggle will be there. He'll be signing. And then we've got,
Who? Hornswoggle.
well...
Who invited him?
FKA, Hornswoggle.
That's his idea.
Oh.
I mean, he's invited.
Oh, Swoggle, sorry.
Swoggle.
That's why it was his idea, because he knew he'd get invited.
Oh, he was on the last Akron show. He didn't quite have that much fun because he got squashed by Big Twan, but that's fine.
Literally squashed.
And then you've got our female guest.
Well, we'll do that one last.
So also appearing, and then they're going to be on the show themselves. The tag team unit of Z and E.
Yeah, this is basically goes to given the kind of local Akron boys, letting them provide suggestions on who their dream matches would be, and Trey Lamar had said Z and E for him and Chase Oliver. So
Which is a little continuity because didn't he wrestle Z at the Akron show?
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah,
Trade
there's a
in,
little
yeah.
continuity there.
Look at that.
For making movies.
Telling stories.
Speaking of hometown Akron talent, that would bring us to our female attraction, which would be former U of Akron cheerleader dance squad member Faye Jackson returning home, and a little bit of a last-second opponent change. But Thorne, who did we find?
Yeah, so just like everything that, the Kevin Nash thing canceling, Madison Rain ended up canceling, which as soon as I saw the reports that she signed with Ring of Honor and saw that there was a Ring of Honor show that day, I had a suspicion.
Not your first rodeo.
But, I thought, well, maybe, we'll just wait and see. And she ended up canceling. So I was able to secure Allison Kay, Sienna, whatever you want to call her.
A long-awaited return for her.
Long-awaited return. Coming off the, the Mae Young Classic to take on Faye Jackson. So, I think it's, it'll be good to have Allison Kay back. She'll also, as long as her flight gets in time, since, she was booked very last second, she will be participating in the convention portion of the day as well.
But not the only lady participating in the signing during the convention.
This was, a very risky decision, I guess.
11th hour.
11th hour decision.
And risque.
Or was it an expose?
You guys are just tying all this together with a pretty little bow on it. I'm impressed.
I mean, it's going to be announced far before this comes out, but
I'm the moderator of sorts, dude.
Even Dominic, though,
I know. He's a
tying it
intelligent guy.
together, putting his socks down.
after
Student podcast hasn't started yet.
after Madison Rain canceled, I started contacting people to, so we could have, a female attraction that would be participating.
Yeah.
This is the definition, at least if the story is correct, of throwing everything at the wall and seeing what stuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was every female with name value that we could find, to see what they had to say.
For you younger people, this is like when you're on Tinder and you just swipe right on everything.
No, not necessarily, but
Now it's creepy again.
but it's like I said, based on Allison Kay's travel, there's a chance that she might not make the convention portion of the event. I was like, man, we need an attraction. And I just started, shooting contacts out, trying to find a female attraction to be represented for the convention.
Yeah.
And I got a reply from Kelly. And this thing happened very rapidly. And I was a little concerned because this is already a very expensive event.
Yeah.
Kelly is obviously, a marquee attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to Pedro about it, and we ran some numbers, and it was decided, fuck it, let's do it. So
There it is. Screw the budget.
screw the budget.
Is this because the garage door got paid back?
Well, it's not paid back yet.
I mean, half of it's paid back.
Is it on? Are the payments on layaway?
Half of it got paid back. But so, we're hoping it's basically like let's bet it all on see what happens. So here we are.
So that's quite the contingent there. Quite the grouping of people that you can get signings from, meet and greets. That's all going to happen. Again, that starts at 3 on
3 or 3:30.
on November 3rd.
I feel like we
3:30.
should know this.
3:30.
3:30.
There we go. So 3:30.
3:30 for the 3:30. How about that?
Wow.
So there's
How about that?
How about that?
So based on ticket expectations, we may start letting people into the building as early as 3.
Okay.
just to, so people
wanna
aren't
get
waiting
lined
outside.
up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this isn't like Mount Carmel. People can come and get in line as early as they want. If they want to tailgate or whatever the fuck they want to do,
Yeah.
they can do it here.
Oh yeah. Now the cosplayers are really going to come out.
But yeah, so let's run it down. Let's run it down from top to bottom. The the attractions we have.
So we've got Cowboy Bob Orton will be there. Well,
Me.
Booker T, your big first one.
I'll be there.
Who can forget the Duke? We all try. Lanny Poffo,
The Genius.
the genius.
Will it be Leapin' Lanny or the Genius?
I'm hoping for the
The
Genius.
genius.
Me too, but you never know.
Yeah. Joel Gertner, the quintessential stud muffin. Is that what you're going to say, Dom?
Yeah, you beat me to it.
Sorry. Gilbert, Dwayne Gill. We have Swoggle, Z&E. Fingers crossed on Allison Kay.
Yes, for the convention part. She'll be at the show part for sure.
Yes, fingers crossed on the convention part. And Kelly. All signed.
FKA Kelly.
Yes.
Barbie Blank.
Barbie Blank.
It's a hell of a lineup.
That is one hell of a
It's a-
lineup.
It is a hell of a
expensive
lineup.
Hey, man, we're not here to talk about budgets, Dom. We're to tell
Bust the
stories.
budget.
We're
Yep.
to make movies.
Bottle of water.
And if it goes well, we're gonna do it again. And
Yeah.
if it
Would you
doesn't,
do this still only once a year, though? Or would you try to do something like this twice a year?
Oh, God, no.
probably just once.
Okay.
The money
That's
man.
probably a
in the
good
back.
idea.
Well, no, I mean, I think if you did it more than once a
You
year,
don't want to dilute the idea.
you don't want to dilute the idea, and you don't want to dilute the names either.
For sure.
You want to still have the name value there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard putting this crew together, and if we did it once a year, we could probably stretch it out a while.
Just have to pick a date when the world's biggest convention isn't happening in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
That's fair. So, and as you said, there will be other things, other events scheduled during this time. Most of those people will be signing the entire time, but if you go through the signings, we're going to schedule some entertainment for you of some sort.
Could be
Yes.
some panels, some Q&As, maybe
Yeah.
some wrestling.
Ask the Duke.
No
Ask the
Mercy
dude.
on an N64.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Guess my net worth. You know,
Game show.
Is it still six figures, or
it is
did you,
still.
did you
Unfortunately,
finally
it is,
hit seven?
No, it hasn't.
You might
hit
have to get your
seven yet.
game show live going with Guess the Duke's.
Well, sadly,
Network.
I'm not going to be there.
I know, but you might be able
Sadly,
to write it out.
Who are you talking to? Sadly, come on.
Sadly for me,
2 in a
Yeah,
row.
for you. That's
I would
it.
love to be there.
Pedro coming back full time now. He's
2
gonna
in a
get
row.
that- He's gonna get the itch.
Not even about the ring announcing. I would love to.
Pedro's
be,
gonna get the itch.
I'd love to be just there for there. Akron was a great time. The energy when we were there that first time was fantastic. It's something else. So
Is there an after party?
We are still trying to secure an official after party location. Nothing is set in stone as of right now.
all right. Well, so then let's get into the card itself, because that's what everybody's going to be. Well, that's what people will also be there for. We already talked a little bit. Trey Lamar, Chase Oliver going to take on Z&E, and that was kind of their dream match, tag team match. We have Allison Kay and Faye Jackson, as Dom pointed out. That's going to be happening there. How about Gilbert? We can see Gilbert in action.
We are going to see Gilbert in
Oh,
action
boy.
against old Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham.
Why not?
Does Dr. Dan qualify? Can we make this a WWF light heavyweight title match, Thorne?
Maybe 6 months ago.
Oh, the Duke coming with a low blow.
Oh, that's another thing that I forgot to mention. I did make sure that Gilbert does have the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship.
Okay.
And he will be bringing it for the photo ops.
Oh, fantastic.
The actual WWF Light Heavyweight Championship.
There you go.
See if that with that.
Gilbert's going to be locking it up with Dr. D.
Dom, how about your match?
Oh man, the cursed match. We're gonna try the third
I almost
time's
don't want
the
to.
charm.
I almost don't want to say who your
third
opponent
time's
is.
the charm.
Yeah.
Eddie
in case.
Kingston. Let's do it finally. Maybe. I don't know.
Which one?
I mean, we were scheduled the last Akron show.
No, which Eddie?
Oh, if it's
Eddie
fucking-
Eddie Kingston will be wrestling on the event. King from Impact Wrestling will be signing during the convention.
Oh, okay.
Isn't he a child?
Oh man, you're two guys. You're blowing the budget.
Yeah, I know.
Can't afford that. But which Eddie? Which Eddie will you be wrestling?
It sure better be Gear Eddie.
It's going to be Gear Dom.
Oh,
So he's ready?
I think I've got his gear, Dom.
I want basketball shorts, Dom.
I mean, I wear fight shorts, Dom. So, but you know this.
You getting
this,
flame pants, Eddie?
Oh, I hope I get flame pants. You know what I want out of Eddie Kingston? You know what I want? I want Puerto Rican pleather pants, Eddie.
Oh,
But those are well gone. I'm pretty sure he sold those. But this match is the cursed match. It will never happen. Hopefully, it finally happens in Akron. But it was scheduled last Akron show. Tragically, Eddie had a death in the family, and then it was scheduled at Nova Pro, and Eddie had a banged up knee, and now we're gonna third time's a trot. Fuck you, Swoggle. Hate you too.
Swoggle just FaceTimed in during this podcast.
Oh wow, look at that.
dude is just a whore for attention.
We're talking about the Rubber City Con.
Your
Rubber
idea.
City WrestleCon.
That scam you convinced Thorne to do.
Yeah, that's
Rubber City WrestleCon?
the scam you talked me into.
I'm a businessman, Duke. Unlike you, I'm gaining money, not losing it.
Oh man.
I gain money every day.
Yeah, man.
How
Okay,
many-
I just wanted to see what you guys were talking about. That's all.
How many
Gotta make
figures?
this podcast. Gotta make people listen to this podcast. Unlike what Duke does, just steals money.
How many figures are you worth, there, Swoggle? Compared to
Probably about these days. Probably about 7, maybe 8.
8 figures.
8 figures, maybe.
Maybe 8.
Maybe 8.
They call me the 8-figure midget in this business.
Worldwide did confirm that he was a millionaire the other day on the podcast, the other week.
That I was, or that Worldwide was.
That you were.
Why wouldn't he be? He's got all that fat leprechaun money.
You got that Saudi Arabia money.
Hold on. How did he confirm this?
He said, Swoggle's a millionaire. If I get a DUI, he's paying for it.
Oh, that was a while ago. Yeah. That was when Steve Guy kicked me out of his car.
You're not a millionaire anymore? Yeah.
That was when Steve Guy gave me... No, nowadays? No, because I have you doing my taxes.
I wouldn't touch your taxes with a 10-foot pole. You shady business doings.
Yeah, with your diabetes, you can't hold a 10-foot pole.
I can't hold it, can't reach. You're going to say reach first. That's you. You can't reach
That's
anything.
me.
How many grabbers do you have at your house right now?
I have like 6 stools.
Or do you keep everything on the bottom shelf? Yeah, exactly.
Don't judge me that I make my kid climb the counters.
Judge you all the time.
Sweet basketball shorts.
Thanks, buddy.
Softball idiot.
Sweet shirtless picture there. Sweet shirtless FaceTime.
This is real jacked right now.
Yeah.
Can we get a lat spread? I mean, the podcast listeners aren't going to be able to see it, obviously, but
You guys aren't ready for a lat spread. Dude, give me a lat spread.
I can't. I'm podcasting. I'm holding the microphone.
Okay. What's that stupid cat doing?
making Dominic Guarini bleed.
It made Dominic bleed
I
tonight.
went hardcore on Dom.
Yeah.
Dom, I don't think you have the sack to kick it across the room.
PETA, brother.
Come on, man.
This is why you're not back in New York.
Exactly.
This is PETA?
This is why they only use you in the Saudi Arabia territory.
That's right, where they kick cats.
Why? What were you guys talking about me with the invite before?
We were running down the lineup for the show.
For Rubber City WrestleCon?
Yes.
Do you get money every time you say that?
No, we lose money every time he says that.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Don't worry. Don't worry. They know about Water City WrestleCon though.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jonathan. John, I have no idea what you're talking about. I just confirmed the lineup for April 27th. So, yeah.
Well, text me what it is. We're talking about our lineup on November 3rd.
Okay, for Rubber City WrestleCon?
Yeah, what's your lineup for ACW Water City WrestleCon?
I don't know. That's not the name of it, John.
Is that right? Because I believe a few weeks ago on the podcast you said you could thank me for that great name.
Yeah, I gave it to you. Like, I gave you the idea for it. I didn't say we had it.
Oh, okay. I don't know, man. If you might want to Google.
Your editing skills are just, you're the Donald Trump of podcasts. Just editing your stuff, making yourself sound good.
Oh, what are you attacking me for?
I'm sorry, I attacked you. I apologize. Hey, Dom, I fucking hate you.
Wow.
That's really
That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
I had to turn it off. I had to turn off off Thorne. I had to put it on someone else.
The Duke's right there.
No, I like Duke. Duke and I are just, fat
we were
buddies.
friends, Dylan.
We don't really do much with our lives. We hang out on the couch and eat Funyuns and just hang out.
I've never eaten a Funyun in my life.
Oh, and I've slam dunked a basketball.
Yeah, maybe on one of those little tykes ones.
I I played little tykes basketball with my kid the other day.
Of course you did. Because you're
Duke.
a little tyke.
Duke, I produce kids with my penis. You haven't seen your penis.
Ever?
Never. Not in the last 5 years that he has. Come on.
No,
right.
it's right where it's supposed to be, but thanks for asking.
Hey, Steve Guy, treat the Duke like my bags and throw them out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Swaggle
I
calling in.
apologize. You didn't even listen to that episode.
See ya.
Oh man, that was what a detour.
Yeah, that threw us way off.
Yeah.
But
Let's get back to Water City WrestleCon.
Eddie
What do you
Kingston,
think's gonna be on
first
that?
match gonna happen November 3rd, Akron, Ohio.
All right. Well, we also have an intense title match on this card.
Tim Donst versus Matthew Justice.
That is going to be intense.
I don't know if that crowd is ready for it.
Yeah. What will Matthew Justice do with that much space and area?
We'll have to wait and see. You know what will Tim Donst do? Tim Donst is no slouch either.
No. I anticipate a lot of crowd brawling in that. The Absolute title going to be on the line?
Joshua Bishop called out whoever the absolute champion would be on November 3rd. And it's going to be Hot Sauce Tracy Williams.
Do you think he was hoping it was Dominic?
I mean, it could have been the two hometown boys battling for
What a great story that would have made.
strap.
Way to go, Dominic.
What a great story!
That
that
would have
would've
made a
been.
great
Way to
story.
go.
What a great story it's going to be when I haven't seen Joshua Serva training in the past 3 weeks.
He's not training like an absolute champion,
Yeah,
huh?
Not training like he wants it. Not training like Hot Sauce Tracy Williams does. Because I know how Hot Sauce trains. If I was a young man who had that opportunity, I sure would be training a little harder for my chance too. Especially when you look at the 2 years that it took me to get a chance at that belt.
Oh, sure. Thorne, that was a shot at you.
Far from a shot, Thorne.
Duke, are you booked on this thing?
No comment.
Oh, I'll be there. Mance, Jock, and myself will be there.
Yeah, Manson Jock will be taking on twins.
No.
We're going to raise hell.
Yeah.
Oh, were they fighting that little bastard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
That's why he called in. He knew.
He knew.
All right, I'm excited now. I didn't know that was the deal, but yeah, we'll be there, guns a-blazing.
And other than that, you have the combined effort of the Weird World Experience taking on the production. That'll be
Yeah,
fun.
he's kind of looking right at me for that. I was
Yet
a little put up on
another continuing chapter in that.
that. Is the World Experience ever going to separate and go back to tag teams? Are you introducing quad belts?
No, they just, sometimes you gotta do little gang wars.
Well, or is it going to
Like
be
the Los
five?
Boricuas.
Boricuas and
Is it going to be
DOA?
5 production members? 4 production members?
We don't know. We'll see.
Going to find somebody?
We don't know. We'll see.
We never know.
Could be 4-on-4. Could be 5-on-5. Could you never
5
know.
on 4?
Then we find that special 5th member again of the Weird World Experience? Or is that one time only?
That's a one-time only.
I'm not involved, so he won't, try to ruin my moment. He's probably going to put on a Swaggle. He's going to cosplay Swaggle and try to get in that match.
Into yours?
Yeah.
You think so, huh?
Guarantee you that's what he's going to do.
Steal your thunder?
That's right.
Well, my boy Swaggle might need some backup out there.
Anything else? I mean, you want to cover going into this thing? It's star-studded, I guess, is a good
I
way to
mean,
put it.
it just, hopefully people come out and support it. It's a Saturday.
Yep.
A very rare Saturday event. Like I said, it's gonna be a long day, but we're gonna try to make it fun. Try to create some unique experiences for people.
There's something for everybody. I think.
Yeah, there's a weird.
absolutely.
It's a weird lineup that there's got to be somebody there that you want to meet. Hopefully, you want to meet everybody. You know what I mean?
Right,
But,
right.
That's the goal of this. I was trying to find unique people that.
But you got
would appeal.
You got gimmick fans would like the Genius, old school wrestling fans like Orton, dudes like Kelly, ECW guys like Gertner. You got and Gilbert for it's those attitude guys. There's something for everybody.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, the show itself. It will be full of chaos and excitement as only AIW
And booze,
can
right?
do for you.
There'll
Yeah,
be
there'll
booze
be
there.
booze.
All you guys
For all of
upset
you
there wasn't
missing
any
it.
booze at the last one. There'll be booze at this one.
Yeah, for all of you missing it, that will be there. And remains to be seen who Dom will, in fact, wrestle against on that show. Fingers crossed
Kingston.
it's Eddie Kingston. But don't jinx it, Dom.
Yeah. No, you don't jinx it. You're the one bringing it up.
I'm saying, well, I told you not to say who it was against. Anything else you guys want to add?
I mean, there'll be when we do the recap, I'm sure there'll be a zillion things to talk about for this show. But right now,
because right now, we just gave you what's supposed to happen.
Right.
So, and we've already had
let's find out what actually happened.
We already had 2 marquee cancellations before this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, hopefully people come. Hopefully people are excited. And if it goes well, this could be something that could become an annual sort of thing. If it doesn't go well, we'll see.
This will be it.
The Duke might be buying the company. We'll see.
Oh, wow. God, no. Buying it, shutting it down. I'm going to buy it and gut it.
Wow.
Corporate raider. I'm going to corporate raider style. I'm going to 80s this bitch. I'm going to buy it and gut it.
What does sour nose end on? Thanks, Duke. So much for good times and good vibes.
Oh, absolutely not.
Well, on that note, we'll see you November 3rd in Akron, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see. For the Duke, for Dom Greeny, for John Thorne, my name's Steve Guy. We'll talk to you next week here on The Card is Going to Change.